Back in New Jersey with the Nets leading by 14. Biggest lead of the half was 17. Celtics have never led. Looking at the statistics, fast break points, as you would expect. The Nets doing a good job in that category. Only 30% shooting by the Celtics, 50% by the Nets, and at the free throw line, the Nets also shooting at 83%. So the advantage of 14, and we've got 24 minutes to go. It's a 48-minute marathon, and Kenyon Martin driving inside. McCullough got a rebound and missed the bank, and that's kind of unusual. He doesn't miss those too often.
I don't think he ever got a good grasp for the basketball.
Kenny Anderson, Antoine Walker, Paul Pierce. Got a mismatch inside with Walker on Kidd. They don't get it to him. Now it's Pierce.
And look where Walker is with Kidd because he didn't get the ball.
Pierce going hard to the glass, missed the left-hander. Rebounded by the Celtics and kicked out. They like to do that, tip it out long, and they've been successful 2 or 3 times. Kittle's stripping. 2-on-1. Kittle's going to the basket, laid it up, got hit hard.
Ooh, I don't like the way he came down. And he is a little shaken up. Well, he can turn the afterburners on, can he?
Carey caught himself before he landed on the floor. Here's another look at it.
Yeah, you know, there's 2 ways of looking at this. He could have given it up, but also the confidence to take a hit with that leg is something that's to be said. I mean, he really, he was exposed, basically.
He's got to
right?
play that way,
yeah,
though, right?
He does.
Year away, you know, you come back, you wouldn't blame him if he had some thought about it.
Play recklessly. It's usually when you're conservative that you get hurt.
Kittle's been averaging 10 points, 4 rebounds. Having a good afternoon here. He's got 8 so far.
Curry is so long, though. I mean, he almost got a piece of that one in the passing lane. Even here.
Williams over McCullough, and that's Tony Battie on the offensive glass.
And that's because McCullough helped out. It's tough to get a seal on his man.
McCullough wants the ball down on the low box. Martin hands to Kidd. Now they go to McCullough. It's the kickback, up fake. Kidd's jump is off target, rebounded by Pierce.
Got to get back into the emotion. Start playing good D. Nice cross, huh?
Antoine missed the shot, and on the offensive glass again, it's Battie. It's off of the Celtics, and it will be New Jersey ball. Antoine Walker's had a running commentary going with Jess Kersey all afternoon. Hasn't won one battle yet. Todd McCullough, bank shot off target.
Just a little too deep maybe for that delivery. Nice look by Anderson.
And Martin fouls Paul Pierce. He went down hard.
And that was all ball to him. It was a foul, but up on the hands. It wasn't on the head. And good aggressive play.
Pierce is looking for something extra, but he's not going to get it, as you can see.
This is more like Kenny the Kid, don't you think? In his heyday, able to find people. And Kenyon Martin, you're exposed when you're up here, but this is just a good, hard play. And no question about the foul, but your momentum is changed. And Jimmy O'Brien begging for the flagrant foul from the other end.
I don't think that was a flagrant foul. I think that was the correct call. Pierce, the first Celtic since 87-88. Larry Bird just scored 2,000 in a season last year, so he's a prolific scorer.
What do you think Tommy Heinsohn was saying at the other end, though?
Oh, definitely. It was Tommy's one of the all-timers as far as discussing officials' calls. And Van Horn on a nice cut, able to draw a foul.
Now there's a set play out of their half-court set. You give up on the cutter, a nice angle, something they put in. There's Tommy, who has suggested on occasion that the official may have been erroneous.
And I have to admit, I loved that when he was a coach of the Celtics. If you're watching the Celtic game and you're in New England. And now, a technical foul.
And a lot of moaning you mentioned by Walker early. Now Pierce is in the middle of it.
Now the two of them are in Steve Jabbie's face. He's trying to get some space. Now he's going to explain it, which, you know, he doesn't have to, really.
Well, he must be talking properly, though, Pierce. Don't you think? I mean, Keith, unfortunately, misses the first. He gets 2 more. First being the technical. Because Steve Jabbie's a guy to let you know quickly if you're out of order.
Has he ever done that with you?
No, actually, we get along famously.
I know he glances over here once in a while. He might hear something that comes out of the booth. And,
well, you know, the officials don't, when you coach, they bothered you. But when you're doing what we do, they don't bother you as much. And look at this. The points allowed first half tonight, only 33. Second half the other night, outstanding. 6 points in that third quarter, so to set it up. And Keith a little upset, missing 2 of 3.
Only 1 of 3 that time by Van Horn. He's 75% free throw shooter. He's got 9 now. So Pierce, Derek Williams, hard drive to the basket. McCullough redirected. Now he gets the rebound. It's Kidd looking for something, doesn't have it.
But he keeps that left hand close to the ball because he's looking to make a play.
Over the defense, Martin got double teamed in the Celtic defense. Nearly stole it. Jess Kersey's going to have a word with Jim O'Brien.
Oh, not a word. He's right in his face there. You know? Wow. And he's still going. Just may have had an early wake-up call. Oh, he's still going.
Oh, now here comes O'Brien, and that's it.
That's what he's waiting for.
And he's out of the game.
I don't think that's good officiating. That's one of those where you get involved with a coach, it's going to lead the wrong direction. Lester Connor up trying to get Jimmy O'Brien. Wow.
Jim O'Brien was having words with Jess Kersey, and Kersey, I believe, said, you take care of the coaching. I don't know what happened after that, but Kersey had enough.
I didn't start out real well, I don't think, for Walker. Now he's talking to Jess Kersey, and it sort of continued. And you know, we can't listen in whether certain things were said that would be immediate expulsion, but it was almost, the dialogue went too long to turn out favorably.
Well, the Celtics have been complaining most of the afternoon about calls, and now there's Dick Harder on the right, Lester Connor.
And here's Dick and Lester Connor in the middle, and John Carroll on the left.
And they'll be left to run the Celtics show from here on. Kerry Kittles, baseline jumper gives the Nets a 17-point lead.
You know, I guess the legs are pretty good. I mean, that took a lot of strength without a bounce.
Now to Williams, and Kittles tried to steal it, but he got whistled. That's his first.
So they do a good job, the Celtics, of twisting you around. Just mumbling to himself as he came over, but they do a nice job of twisting you around with matchups, and that's why the Nets are at disadvantage. Small playing big, Kittles on Williams.
Kidd guarding Anderson. McCullough steps up to help out, but Anderson made the jumper.
Nice hide and seek there.
54-39, 9 minutes remaining in the third. Van Horn. Now Martin. Keith behind the arc to shoot. No good.
A nice down screen by McCullough. Give him the open look.
Nothing but green jerseys on the defensive glass. And the Celtics are a good rebounding team. On the top 5 in the league. Pierce, long range, 3, drains it.
When they get healthy, don't they quickly? Gets them right back to 12.
Pierce has now made 2 of 18 on the afternoon. Antoine Walker had this kind of night the first time these two met. Did not shoot well. Here's Jason Kidd. Back rimmed, and it's taken away by Martin. So a fresh 24 for the Nets. Kidd and Kittles are in double figures right now. 10 to shoot. Jason off the screen. No good.
Okay, his stroke looks pretty good, though. With both of them, the last one was back rim. And they're very confident. He's just undeterred. If he's free, he's going to take it.
Well, he's been working on rotation on his shot. There's a move by Anderson down low, and he's traveled.
And that's the size. You get in there too deep. And Keith Van Horn over to help out.
But with Kidd, I think if you see him shooting well, he's got a rotation that's working well.
And it seems to rotate better late. Last quarter,
right? Fourth quarter. Here's Van Horn. They tried to little two-man game with McCullough. That's a turnover. That is the 8th by the Nets. Both teams have 8, but the Nets have turned theirs into 15 points.
Todd, not the premier post-entry guy. Not asked to do that too often. Oh, they get Martin here. This is a turnover.
And Martin reached in, and Paul Pierce was fouled. That's his third. So a little concern perhaps on the Nets bench here with 7:20 remaining in the third.
A little sluggish right now, both clubs. And there's another one, number 4. Just relax a little, number 3 or 4. 4.
So 2 in a row against Kenyon Martin, and now Richard Jefferson's got to get off the bench quickly. Paul Pierce is so tough to stop off the dribble that Martin fouled him.
He plays big or small. I mean, no question about it. That time just didn't seal off that baseline.
So now a challenge for Richard Jefferson, who stands 6'7", as does Pierce. Lots of moves from Pierce. Up off the top of the board, and it's going to be a foul on Tony Battie.
He went after McCullough a little bit.
That's the second team foul on the Celtics, so a grinding start to this third quarter, the opening 5 minutes. And that's maybe something the Celtics would like to see, because the Nets, when they run, can really put up some points. Here's Jefferson. Pull up in traffic, got it blocked, but he got it back. Now moves inside.
Carry. Pretty good move, too. Other than the carry, huh?
Called for a carry that time, and another turnover. So this game has slowed down considerably.
Yeah, that's that palm. Allen Iverson used to do that in college quite a bit. Not quite as much now.
Eric Williams in a mismatch with Kittles wants the ball. Now he's got it.
McCullough looking to help.
Strong move in. McCullough standing there, but Eric Williams got the shot off, and Kittles got the board.
Great job on D by Kittles.
Running the floor, it's Van Horn stopping. On Pierce, wants to back him in. Double team coming. Jump hook over him. Rolls in, out, and in.
How about that? He caught it and didn't walk. Great control, and then backed this guy down. Nice soft delivery by the youth.
Van Horn's been working on that a little more this season because he knows he's going to get the ball on the run quite a bit. What to do with it when he gets it, that's the question. Pierce knows what to do with it. Knocks down a 3.
Make the catch harder. Make it deeper on the floor, and then challenge. He does have range.
That's his third field goal in 20 attempts. But when you've got a scorer's mentality, you just keep shooting it.
McCullough with the down screen. That's the play they use where he pins guys. Got to be stationary.
Timeout on the court. Under 6 minutes remaining in the third. Nets up. Mike Crispino, Bill Raftery back in New Jersey on a matinee where the Celtics bench is without Jim O'Brien, the head coach, who was ejected after a couple of these plays.
No, that's the one he felt was a flagrant because the Nets had one earlier. And I guess he felt Kenyon had pushed and then pushed off there as well. And right away you saw Jess Kersey turn towards the bench, and John Carroll, Lester Connor in the middle, and Dick Carter on your right.
And sometimes, I don't know if you agree with this or not, Bill, but a coach will do that to get his team a little fired up as Paul Pierce goes to the goal and he draws a whistle.
I don't think he wanted to be thrown. I think he was a little shocked at it initially, but once you get to first, it's hard to stem the flow if you're a little bit upset. But, you know, off air, you were just talking about Pierce and Walker, what loads they are to defend against. And they go to them, they ride them, and they put pressure on you. So at that time, I thought Richard Jefferson did a better job forcing the catch out deeper, but then he mixes it up with the bounce.
And the only thing I added to that as we were talking is that oftentimes your teammates, if you're a Celtic player, get a little mesmerized by these guys because they do so much with the ball.
You stand around a little. I think they do dribble a little too much. You know, they're going to get most of the touches, but make a quick decision.
9-point advantage. Here's Jefferson. Had a little
jump
opening, and there's a jump ball as Pierce got up there on Jefferson and tied him up.
Aaron Williams got the ball game.
You can see Richard just off his game a tad, and that's from being laid up with the knee problems. But right here, here's the traffic, and he can't get it away from the defense, and a good call. Should go to Kidd and Van Horn. Yeah. Now it should go to Kidd and Kittles.
Since Jim O'Brien was ejected, a 10-4 run by the Celtics. Nets come up with it. Up by 9, 5.5 to go in the third.
But Kidd tips more balls to people than people get assists. You know?
That's true. Now he guns it up from way downtown.
Had to, though. Late.
Had to beat the clock, and it's short. Now it'll be Boston ball. A chance for them to get back within 6 if they can hit a 3. Walker goes over the defense. Nice look to Paul Pierce. And the Celtics are right back in it, down by 7.
Walker's got the ability because of size to make that delivery. Front a little bit too high, maybe.
That is the 8th assist as a team for the Celtics. Now Pierce with a steal, and Walker running the court with Aaron Williams. Williams fouls him, and Walker will have to make 2.
Some mistakes now. The little run, and these are the tests that you get in the NBA. Byron Scott looking on, and the offense not in sync. Unforced turnovers, the jump ball situation, and then the ensuing run out, and the post pass too. Just not as alert as they were in the first half.
I think that was a little bit of a wake-up call by Jim O'Brien in some ways. There's the coaching staff talking it over.
Having a few chats there.
Huh? You rarely see a Dick Harder smile on the bench, right?
Well, some days I rarely see a Dick Harder smile. A long time. Of course, head coach in Charlotte, but NBA assistant Chuck Daly in those Piston days. PJ out in Portland.
Defensive specialist Jefferson in traffic, and he did draw the foul that time. He got hit on the way in a couple of times.
Willing to take that hit, and they're playing up on him. He should be able to get his jump shot at some point, but his use of the dribble is which separates him from a lot of forwards. He can really get into the lane and create some problems.
The first on Pierce, and here's Jefferson at the line. Richard Jefferson out of Los Angeles.
You know, it's interesting. Byron was a great shooter and scorer. Played off the ball. Eddie Jordan was the same as like Jason Kidd. Eddie's family will love me.
Yeah, right.
And Eddie was a very talented guy, but he knew how to run a team too. And it's interesting to see him get back to play.
Walker powered his way in over Kittles, but missed the shot. Now Kittles running hard on the right wing. Gives it up to Aaron Williams for 2.
Run the floor. Again, it's so important if you're going to push the basketball that all 5 get down there. You never know when it's going to fall your way.
Just the 3rd field goal for the Nets here in the 3rd. Celtics have had the better of it so far. Anderson, hard drive, and a tip near the goal. Doesn't go in. Kidd behind the back, on the run, dealing to Van Horn. Hard drive, Van Horn's down, and got hit in the face, I think.
Tell you what, these forwards put pressure on you. Little Nick looks like he'll be all right. But when you get to the free throw line, your survival is enhanced. You know you're going to get there with a chance for 2. But the big guys put the defense in a difficult or tenuous position every time they run the floor.
So Van Horn will go to the line after taking a shot to the nose, it looks like, or the bridge of his nose.
See, I can see you're not used to getting hurt. You're so solicitous. Here's one. I think he wanted to jam that one as he double pumped and a little giveaway. And Jefferson gets a blow too. Is right here, right across. Now that does hurt. I'll give in. Take
now,
me out.
A guy of your size and your scoring ability had to be getting hit in the face a lot when you were playing.
Well, I got hit in the face for a lot of other reasons too. But he's running the floor and getting to the line. That's key for this team.
But T on the low box on Aaron Williams. Wants to move on him. A little hook shot, a little jump shot on that corner. And look at the work there by Joe Johnson. And he got it tipped to a teammate to keep it alive.
And Lucius over there trying to contest.
Now Pierce. He'll shoot from anywhere, everywhere. Anderson had it stolen. Kittles. It's Kidd in the open court now on Pierce. Dealing it to Harris for 2.
Oh, is he clever? And how about Lucius? A lot of guys are steal almost by Lucius.
Look at Kidd down low, and he fouled.
And he knows.
Anderson.
What great hustle, though. Come out and watch these guys play, folks. Listen to this applause. We haven't seen this all year, but that's the kind of energy that is expended by this team. Just a magnificent play. Williams with the hand up to flex. And right here, the ability to run the floor. Guys waiting for him to give it up because he will. He's so unselfish.
And then he grinds it out on the defensive end.
And there it is. Anything to help your team become a winner. Just miraculous.
Well, you've said this all season long. If you're one of the other guys playing with Jason Kidd, you're going to run. Because you know he's going to find a way to get you the ball.
He just loves to ring the bell for somebody else. I mean, he's just a great influence. Attitude.
And that time, Lucius Harris, trailing the play by a lot, got into the play.
Sprinted. As you see Kittles right behind him trying to get a piece of the action.
They go over the defense to Aaron Williams, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Williams, who pushed off.
Offensive foul, number 34, Aaron Williams.
That is the 15th foul on the Nets, with 3:04 left in the third.
Back to the ball game for Boston.
Curious to hear as the coaches call out the play to reaction, and you got to come ready to play. Kenny Anderson down there, I'm sure looking on saying, "Woo!" Kid does push it.
Joe Johnson's been quiet here this afternoon, the rookie.
And see, Pierce knows he can elevate over Lucius Harris there, the plumb bob. So you really got to get up and under him.
Pierce now has 16 on 22 shots.
And the Knicks, Van Horn trying to balance the floor. Nice.
Gives to Kittles, long range from Carey, and Karam to Antoine Walker. Big man charging down court. Deals to Pierce, jump stop, stripped, and a whistle by Jess Kersey.
Lucius with a terrific position, and then the swipe.
Timeout on the court. Nets by 10 here in New Jersey. There are going to be some great tournaments with that name on it over the years as the years go by, I would imagine.
Great respect for him. I saw Doc Emmerich in the back, speaking of great broadcasters. Getting ready for the Devils tonight, back-to-back. You mentioned Detroit. Best team in hockey, I guess, huh?
Right now, they are. They made a lot of off-season moves. They got a great team. Dominic Hasek will be in the house tonight. A lot of people think he's the premier goaltender in the league. Kenyon Martin on the bench has 4 personals. Paul Pierce, along with Antoine Walker, have been dominating the offense for the Celtics, but they're down by 10.
And by the way, Pierce and Walker have 33 points, 22 for the rest of the team. I mean, that's what you were alluding to earlier. They need some other people to assist them. Tough to carry the load in a 5-man sport.
And we have word from the Garden that Hofstra defeated Iona 67-54 in the first half of that Marty Glickman Classic. So a lot of great local programs coming into the Garden to play college basketball this year. Kittle's off balance. That's a tough shot.
Yeah, never got his legs. Tom Pecora took over at Hofstra for Jay Wright, so it continues, huh?
And Jay Wright, of course, doing a great job recruiting already for his team as Walker steps back off balance.
Who gets the assist?
And knocks it down, I guess. So now Walker, 19 points. He's made 7 of 21. And it's a 5-point game. Bounce past Aaron Williams on the way up. Walker deflected. Here's Joe Johnson.
They got a clear out, see if they assist.
Walker spinning. Dealing in the corner to Milt Palacio. No good. Kidd has the rebound. It's 1-on-4, and it's stolen by the Celtics. And they got a man. It's Paul Pierce. And suddenly it's a 3-point game.
It's a game. They want to push, and they're not conservative, so accidents are going to happen as it did that last trip.
Here's Kittles. Kick in the corner to Van Horn. No good, and Aaron Williams deflected it. Kittles kept it alive. Now Lucius down to Van Horn, spinning on Pierce. Tough shot. Pierce good defense, and Walker rebounds.
Didn't really shoot it.
Final minute of the third, and the Celtics, they've been behind all day long, have a chance to tie.
Well, Walker wanted it out there. Let's see if they just pick and pop, and they get the switch.
Walker on Kidd. Hard drive, fadeaway jumper. Banked home.
Come on.
For 2.
Come on. Oh, no smile. A kiss.
2 for 1. Kidd goes to the basket, pull-up shot, and it goes in. But it's going to be an offensive foul.
The left arm, or did he step out?
And it's going to be inbound. Let's see.
Well, that's his strength. They're saying there it is the call. Palacio, good position. It wasn't a push-off, just good defensive reaction.
13-0 run has wiped out all but one of a 14-point lead for the Celtics. Now with a chance to take the lead to go to the fourth. Walker isolated on Van Horn. Step back 3. No. It's rebounded by Kidd. Nearly stolen by Joe Johnson, but Kidd still has it. Time running out. Puts it up. No good.
The one thing they have going, they've rested people. They're prime. The key is when Jason Kidd takes a few minutes, if they do.
Antoine Walker got a break right here and made it work for him. Stepping back for three. Celtics down one after.
I'm ready. NBA League Pass out on DirecTV. It's super bad. It's hot. All that.
Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Headed to the fourth quarter. And Michael Korn, North Carolina guy, happy to hear that college hoops will be on Fox Sports Net tomorrow night. Premiere of an ACC Sunday Night Hoops doubleheader. This week, starting at 6, North Carolina hosting Georgia Tech, followed by Clemson visiting Duke. That's tomorrow night only on Fox Sports Net.
And Carolina could use one, as they say.
Yes, they could. Off to a slow start.
Big game early in the year.
Not used to that kind of start. Down in heel country, Walker on the pass inside, and it's going to be an offensive foul.
How about that team defense? And Williams, the last line of protection. What a great step in.
Jim O'Brien, the Celtic coach, ejected in the third. The next 9 minutes plus, his team came out firing, outscored the Nets 29-12. In the corner, it's Van Horn kicking it to Aaron Williams, and he's stripped on the way up. 11 to shoot. Celtics have been more aggressive defensively, taking the ball away. Nets have now made 15 turnovers.
Now, do you attribute that to being thrown out?
Well, I mean, you could say it, part of it. Oh, there's Jason Kidd.
There's the bite. He just bites you at the appropriate time.
Sometimes, well, you're the coach. Coaches try things, don't
I think it gives him a lift. No, sometimes in some cases, they're glad to see you go. In my case, anyhow. But no, a nice front here by Lucius.
Walker, Aaron Williams, good help. Rejection. Walker can't get it off. Now Strickland. Walker gets open again, though. No good. And the ball is knocked loose. It'll be
They got green.
Celtic ball as Steve Javie talks it over with Jess Percy, and that's what they come up with. Kenyon Martin back in the game, has 4 personals, 9 points. I think Byron Scott thinking, got to slow down Pierce and Walker.
Yeah, that's why they're the best officials in the world on how they coordinate. I mean, something like that. One wasn't sure.
Walker and Van Horn doing battle down low. Now Walker, 6 or 7 moves, and Aaron Williams steps in defensively.
Great job.
Harris running to Kidd, the up fake. Now dealing it to Williams on the drive. Tips it, got it back, put it up again, and he got fouled.
What a job by Aaron Williams. Defensively, a presence, and that time countering with sprinting the floor, getting himself into an area where he can dominate. Oh, but Van Horn, individually, just moving the feet, make the guy step a little wider, and that gives your center, in this case Aaron Williams, a chance to do some damage.
Now that's the kind of play, as Aaron has the first of 2. We did not see last year. The help by Aaron Williams really made the play.
Well, they know it, and they have the ability to do it. I think last year they knew it and didn't quite have the ability. I mean, there's more of a presence defensively than we've seen in quite a while.
And I think that defensive pressure, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but it starts on the perimeter. And that's with Kittle's back and Jason Kidd.
Well, Kidd contains his guys. You're right, totally. They don't turn the corner on him.
5-point lead. Here's Strickland. They just keep pounding it down to Walker. Turnaround hook. Count it.
He's a load, huh? I mean, he's prolific. In or out. With Pierce getting a blow, he's about to come back in. They're going to ride Walker.
23 for Walker. And Jason Kidd did travel that time, as Jess Percy pointed out.
You know what happened? Kenyon switched sides of the screen. Started one, then switched it to the other. And Jason was anticipating going to the middle, and he had switched sides.
Joe Johnson sits down. Just 4 points this afternoon for the very special rookie of the Celtics. Now Eric Strickland. Guarded by Harris. Van Horn on Walker. Here he comes again. He's just a shooting machine. Strickland, no good. Tipped up and in. Walker again. Wow. Single-handed, he killed the Nets last year. Averaged a triple-double against them in the 4 Celtic wins. Had a bad night in Boston in the first meeting between these two. Now Walker on defense. Van Horn, baseline jump, front rim, Walker. Celtics can take the lead, and it's taken away from them on the run out by Lucius Harris.
That's one way of stopping a break, and make sure you get back in transition. Boy, Walker's so many positions that he can play and play well.
He is a quality big man, but he can play the small man game, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. At 6'9", Pierce driving hard,
nice
and
shot.
an offensive foul as Aaron Williams stepped in.
Oh, what a reaction he has had. A force to get the basketball back, to take away offensive opportunities. Here you think you got a goal, and that's what team defense is all about. Just keep your guy, ride him. If he does beat you with the dribble, you hope to get some help. Great step in.
Jason Kidd, hands to Martin. Now Harris. Van Horn to shoot it. Front rims, and now he's gone cold. It's Palacio with it.
Keep getting him those looks, though. Uncontested.
Pierce on the drive.
Is that Kenyon or Williams again?
Williams again with the help defense. Here's Kidd as Martin comes slowly up into the offensive end. Ten to shoot it. Van Horn fakes it this time. Now steps up. Goes in and out with it. Potapenko lost it.
What a break. Kenyon.
Timeout on the court. Kenyon Martin and the Nets trying to grind one out against the Celtics. The game summary is brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. Paul Pierce had a huge third quarter, 16. Nets still leading in the fast break point category. Now the Celtics doing the better job off the boards. And they're the two-pronged attack, which we talked about at the top of the broadcast, of Walker and Pierce, have accounted for 45 of the Celtics' 67, despite shooting 30%.
16 to 52. I mean, that should give you ample opportunity to run out and get control of the game. But now they've made it a game. They've got to execute in the half court. Got to get it in.
Jefferson inbounds to Kidd. So Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson, Lucius Harris, Aaron Williams, and Kenyon Martin.
And they get the reach in. Walker. You know, what's interesting, the insertion now of Jefferson, what that does, Van Horn was a little off his shot. You've got some fatigue. He's guarded very well. And that's number 5 on Walker. And he's going to go after Jess. Let's see. He's having a conversation with Jess. A little more selective in his delivery, I'm sure.
Game has never been tied. Celtics have played from behind all afternoon, and Williams stepped in to take it away on a soft pass from Lucius Harris.
Didn't get the right angle and throw it to the outside hand. Got to get some help.
Pierce taken away by Jefferson. Now he's in the open court with one man to beat. Palacio layup miss.
That's what's incredible. They got to get back. They don't see down the floor. Oh my goodness, wide open. Strickland.
Key play right there by Richard Jefferson. Beat Milt Palacio on the layup. Now Potapenko trying to turn on Aaron Williams. Can't get loose. Ball on the floor. Now he shoots it up. Williams got a piece. Oh! And there's a loose ball foul
Strickland.
On Eric Strickland.
What an asset. Last week we were talking about no Jefferson, no rotation. Put him in now, and immediately an impact with a denial, a deflection, and his ability with the dribble in the open floor, and emphatically challenging at the rim.
So Potapenko sits down, and Tony Battie is back in. Nets by 3.
Nice pass.
Kenyon Martin. Oh, ho, ho.
Oh, now you're excited about the dunk, and rightfully so. But how about the pass to the correct hand? I mean, that is what basketball's all about. I mean, all of a sudden, he's going to make the look there, but look at, he sees the defense on the right side, and just incredible around the rim. And Kenyon Martin just attacks with reckless abandon, a little authority. But it's Kidd who puts it on the spot.
And Kenyon Martin on the line to shoot 2. Shooting at 70% this year. Kenyon Martin, a second leading scorer on the Nets at 16 points a game. There's Jason and Byron Scott. Talking offense or defense? What do you think?
I would say offense. I would say offense because they've had a little trouble on that end of the floor. I mean, they go over walkthroughs and tape work, and they know everything that they're running. Coaches holler out what the play is, but I would say just getting organized on offense, something that Byron was suggesting.
And Aaron Williams got an offensive rebound after Martin missed both. So Aaron Williams has had a solid afternoon defensively and on the boards. Now Martin gets it back on Eric Williams in traffic, tipped up, and taken by the Celtics. Kenny Anderson to Pierce. Goes right by Martin. Martin rejected him. And Eric Williams will go to the line as Aaron Williams fouled him.
And that's pretty fortunate, because I think Pierce going to the rim may have gotten tagged. They get to the free throw line. But right here you can see where Martin hasn't been able. He's amazing how he swipes and gets the ball. Fortunately, they're not getting the support baseline particularly with Pierce, but you can see the swipe there, and this is the eventual giveaway, and there's no question they are starting to bang a little bit.
Kenyon Martin being attended to by Tim Walsh briefly, the Nets trainer, as he banged a wrist down there.
They're not going away.
Celtics back within one. Headed toward the 7-minute mark of the fourth. Team that gave the Nets all kinds of trouble last year, beat them 4 straight times, including twice here in New Jersey. Harris shoots it and makes it.
How about that set play?
That's give it to me, let me shoot it.
Exactly, a little deflection, and he knew what to do with it.
Good sense of the clock, though, by Harris. They needed to get something, and they did. Now Williams taken away by Jefferson, and he steps on the sideline.
I think they got the foul before, though. Crispy, on the entry pass, he reached over and just threw the arm down. Pretty easy call. He'll come this side, you just see the little reach, gets a piece, and eventually on the sideline.
And Richard Jefferson nearly in the front row of Nets fans with the hustle.
See if we can force him to the middle.
Harris, wow, quick jump shot for a deuce. 1-point game. Boy,
Paul catches the ball and pierces your heart. I mean, he doesn't need the dribble.
So Paul Pierce now has got 22. Aaron Williams turnaround jumper. That's no good. And the Celtics save it, and they can take the lead with 6:15 remaining. Pierce, Anderson, Batiste, Strickland, and Williams. Here's Pierce, way behind the arc. Drains it for 3.
Timeout. Byron gets everybody back in order. Little struggle. Van Horn's rested. McCullough's rested. And Pierce is just lining them up and drilling them.
Yes, he is. And he's taunting the Nets crowd, too. Visit MSGNetwork.com for the latest on the Nets. Plus, every Sunday, get post-game comments and sound bites from the Jets and Giants players and coaches. And for complete coverage of the Nets throughout the season, visit NJNets.com. We'll be getting a new column from my colleague Bill Raftery. What can you divulge a little bit of what we're going to hear there?
Those inner secrets, I'd like to keep them to myself.
We'll have to wait 24 hours. Aaron Williams on the cut to the basket, and out of the timeout, the Nets tie it up at 74 all.
Great organization, too. Nice dive by the A-Train.
All tied. 5:35 to go.
And good job, the deep catch.
Eric Williams on Martin, who's got 4 fouls. Tries to get something happening. Hard drive, off balance. No good. Nets come up with it. Now Kidd handing to Harris.
Good poise.
Kenyon Martin's getting down court slowly. I don't know if there's anything wrong.
On the rebound, he just sort of was set back, jarred his heels. Oh, this is deep.
Gonna shoot a 3-ball.
Oh, he's all right.
Knocks it down.
He's all right. He just wanted to delay. Delayed hitter, and look at him. He is pumped.
That doesn't happen often, if at all. But now the crowd is into it. The cutter is Batiste. Aaron Williams blocks. Whistled by Jess Kersey.
How about the reaction and the smile by Williams? He has been such a force on the defensive end. Richard Jefferson as well comes in to help. The hands, and you can just see a little body, but just a terrific reaction. Now, Kenyon Martin, everybody likes to shoot a 3. But how about this reaction? Oh, there is a guy. And he wants the house to join it.
So Batee goes to the line as the first. Celtics as a team shoot about 73% from the line.
He's only about 58, 59%, right? Right in
Batee
there.
himself has had some difficulties there. 58%, but he's got these two. And the lead is one. Under 5 minutes remaining, so Kerry Kittle's back. Martin, Kidd, McCullough, and Richard Jefferson. Here's Richard. 10 to shoot it. Kidd kicks in the corner to Kittles. That rolls in and out. Kidd got the rebound. Put it in.
On the pass, his momentum took him baseline. A little kiss by Kidd.
3-point lead. Celtics trying to get organized offensively, and they do. Strickland to Anderson. Kidd's on him. Now Batee.
Got a 5.
McCullough, they got to get it. Batee off balance.
Ow!
No good. And Jefferson's going to be called as Eric Williams had position but got pushed.
Tough little play, too. Caused the miss. They'll come up with it in a well-rested Keith Van Horn coming in now for Richard Jefferson. So we mentioned the rotation. Everybody but Jason Kidd getting a blow.
4:03 remaining. And a 3-point net lead. Walker's back with 5 personals. Here's Pierce. Puts it up off balance. It went in and out and in.
Tough. Just breaks you down. Jabs you, recovers.
Just keeps coming. 1 of 16, 8 of 12. Now McCullough on the high post. Dealing to Kidd. Now to Kittles for the jump.
Good one. Nice set play. Screen down by Martin. Well diagrammed play.
Kittles has a dozen. 4 of the 5 net starters in double figures. Now Walker got loose. Blocked by McCullough. He powers it back in, and the Nets have it.
Look at him feel it, huh?
Kidd's got McCullough for a moment.
And it closed. You know, you got the time. Heads up play.
Kidd driving baseline. Now deals down to Martin. Fouled. Shot goes in.
What a play by Jason Kidd. A little kiss ricochet. All of a sudden, they're back to running their half court in a solid fashion. Interesting enough, McCullough comes on the floor offensively. Not that he's touched the ball, but he's in position. Here's a nice little slip. And how about this? Take the hit and bang it, huh? A little double kiss-a-roo.
Kenyon Martin with a 3 and a 3-point play. 6 by Martin. Nets by 6. Under 3 minutes remaining, and the Celtics call a timeout.
One conventional and one a deep tray. Kmart.
Kenyon Martin keying a late net surge. Wednesday night on Fox Sports Net, Stephon Marbury returns to Jersey as the Nets host the Phoenix Suns. Preview the action on Nets game night at 7:30, then at 8. The Nets and Suns collide Wednesday night here on Fox Sports Net.
Well, Steph will be back to show his wares. And a great matchup with Jason Kidd and Stephon. Right now, defensively, you know, if it's Walker or Pierce, you got your hands full.
7-0 run in the last 148 for the Nets. And Pierce off the dribble, driving, didn't get it to go, but he's going to get 2 free throws.
And that's that containment. If you just get them one dribble, they automatic switch on the same side. Coaches felt that there's an even match as Walker and Pierce on the same side. So Keith ends up with the guy who's got great ability to get to the basket and just didn't contain him. Pierce.
And there's Paul Pierce for his 27th point. Talk about a shooter's mentality, Bill. He had an awful first half. Nothing went in. Now in the second, he's ignited his team, got him within 4.
He's a great talent. I mean, just a confident performer. You knew he was going to come back after you.
2:35 remaining. It's Todd McCullough handing the Kid. Moving it to Kittles for the jump.
Short.
Kittles got it.
Just snuck in there. Same play, and they ride it. Set it up left, side exchange right.
Now Pierce again goes by Kenyon Martin, who had to foul him.
And got him way outside.
That's 5 on Kenyon Martin now.
Well, the one thing, you'd hate to use him. Now, here's the play. Now, here's the dribble exchange on the right. Now, right down here is how they're setting up Kittles. Here's the dribble exchange. Now, Keith exchanges, and here comes Curry. Just terrific little play. You can see how the defense sneaks a peek, and you get an open look.
And Pierce, perfect from the line. 9 of 9 now. 30 points for Paul Pierce. And that one rolls in and around and in. Still a 4-point game.
See if they ride the same play.
2:15 remaining. It's McCullough at the high post.
They're going to play the same play. This is the third time now.
Kid lost it. Now he recovers.
But throws it out of sync.
10 to shoot. He
No good.
pulls up to shoot, and it's rebounded by Eric Williams. So Kenny Anderson has it. Pull-up jump by Anderson. He's got that.
And that time, Jason couldn't get over the top. And just that cushion for Anderson to bite.
Jason Kidd has a high on the season of 18 assists, with the Nets lead by 2, under 2 minutes remaining. Here's Kittles. Driving, in traffic, blocked by Pierce. McCullough came down with it, and there's going to be a jump ball.
Pretty good reaction defensively on Kittles.
1:37 remaining, only 5 to shoot it. They may put an extra second on. They're talking. Now they're going to go to 14.
Yeah.
So if the Nets can control it, they'll have 14 to shoot it. McCullough and Petit.
Everybody over anxious here.
And Petit bats it out of bounds. Oh, it's saved.
Good communication, huh?
Antoine Walker to his teammate Pierce. 2-point game. Anderson on Kidd. In the lane, backs it out.
There's that containment with the dribble.
Pierce up fakes, driving hard, in traffic, and a foul called.
I don't think give it to big guy McCullough. Martin down there looming too.
Gonna be on Todd McCullough.
Put some pressure on you.
He just can't stop the dribble.
Now right here, you're just trying to step up, and McCullough gets hit on the swipe.
And that time, Pierce got so far under the basket, Raph, that I don't think he could have got the shot off.
But at that point, you defensively, you really hung out to dry.
But he knows he's going to get contact, and he knows he's a pretty good free throw shooter. That's his first miss of the night.
Now, the last stroke, he got a break on the shooter's roll. Remember the one that crawled in for him? That time, he had the same kind of a stroke. Not as confident.
Pierce has played 43 of the 46 minutes so far this afternoon, and he's got 1 of 2. It's a 1-point game. Timeout on the court. 1:21 left. New Jersey clinging to a single-point lead. Back in New Jersey, the timeout situation. Celtics have 2 full and a 20. Nets have a full and a 20. New York Sports Report tonight will have the recap of this game, what's going on around the world of baseball. The Knicks have a game tonight at home. The Devils play here tonight against the Detroit Red Wings. All of that coming up on the New York Sports Report on Fox Sports Net. Now, 1:21 remaining on the offensive end. The Nets will have the ball. Where do they go?
Well, they've been riding that dribble exchange on the one side. I would look for a post-up of some sort. See if they can get Van Horn or Martin after they run their initial side screens, letting them slip to the box, see if they can get them at least to the free throw line. Now they're going to take it out the length of the floor, get the full 24. But they'll probably do it off some motion. You know how they like to pass, Kid gives it up, comes back, gets through, and then eventually let him get another touch.
Now, neither team has a foul to give, so as we get down to this final minute, that could be a factor.
Now, if I were Boston, once Kid gives it up, I would not let him get it back.
Kid there to Kittles. Now in the corner to Kenyon Martin. McCullough cut off. carry, driving. Bank shot is no good, and Eric Williams had the rebound, so Nets didn't get a good one there.
No.
The Celtics can take the lead. Kenny Anderson's been coming off that pick. Pierce for three. Got it!
Kill it.
Big shot from Paul Pierce, and the Celtics lead by 2. 35 for Pierce. Now it's Van Horn's turn, and he can't answer. It's an air ball, but Martin got it back.
Oh, thought that was out. Clock's still going. Oh,
Jason Kidd, contact. Van Horn got the rebound and hit it up.
They had plenty of time, too. I think Jason Kidd thought it was much deeper.
Tied at 88.
Go get it back.
Just the second tie of the game. Anderson and Kidd. Driving on Kidd. Anderson off balance. Banked it in.
Wow. Timeout.
And the Nets call timeout on a tough shot by Kenny Anderson with 20.4 left.
Mookie, a former Net, bit them in California at Golden State. And Kenny Anderson this time with great penetration, going to his favorite hand and using the glass.
90 to 88. Nets have 20.4 to answer.
And the offense has not meshed the last few trips. They've been stuck. Getting into something earlier and without the dribble might be beneficial to them.
The Celtics defense has picked up. Here's Kenny Anderson's move.
I see right here, they're ready to, if they go the other way. Here's the long jump shot earlier as Pierce is able to knock it, and then the long jumper, and alertly underneath Keith Van Horn in position to do some damage. But here comes Kenny to the left side, and everybody was lifted. They couldn't get the pinch. You see where McCullough had to come from the foul line. Awfully tough, and little chest bump too at the end, and rightfully so.
So now down by 2 with a 20-second timeout remaining. The Nets will come out now. Do they go for 3 to win, or they go for 2?
No, you go for the tie. I think you got to, you get yourself back in the game, play some good defense, force them, hopefully for a missed rebound, and if they shoot too early, you may have some options. But this is a defensive set that you got to keep Kidd out of the mix. I think if you're Boston and counter that, the Nets with some motion and maybe a low block. They tried McCullough earlier, but the defense took it away on the last trip.
Crowd on their feet. Paul Pierce has been a one-man wrecking crew. 9 of 13 in the second half alone. He's been to the free throw line double-digit times. He's got 33 in the second half alone. 35 overall.
And Strickland guarding Jason Kidd. Good defender, strong.
Van Horn to inbound to Jason Kidd. Final 20 seconds. Kidd looking to set it up. Goes to Kittles. Now it's Van Horn in the corner. He got fouled. That might be 3 free throws.
Should be 3. And the best free throw shooter on the New Jersey Nets, Keith Van Horn, 75%, and generally shoots near 80 for his career. And here's the side pick and roll. A little double down. First for Kittles, and then the slip to the corner by Van Horn. Well diagrammed, and how alert.
Good presence of mind there by Van Horn. He knew he had Walker up in his face.
Clyde, right? Walt Frazier kind of a play. Dick Carter questioning the call at the other end.
Antoine Walker just had a bit of a temper tantrum down by the Celtics bench.
I think that was the limit. That was the limit for him, too.
Yeah, he is fouled out. Joe Johnson will replace him, and Van Horn on the line. 7.2 remaining. Walker leaves with 25. Free throws coming, and Van Horn missed it. Now, he's 3 of 5 on the afternoon. Needs them both. Got one.
Changes your strategy now. Defensively, they'll probably, Boston going to call a timeout to try and make
Celtics call a timeout.
A little tougher.
Going to try to ice Van Horn with 7.2 remaining.
Now you got to talk about what you're going to do defensively as well as, you know, Keith, you're assuming he's going to make it, how you're going to play.
90 to 89.
You also got to think if there's a miss, you're going to give one. You don't mean right away. That's part of it. But you don't say that until after he leaves the huddle. You know, he's one of your top free throw percentage shooters. And so you do two things. You talk about when he makes it, and then the discussion is after he leaves, what you might do if, in fact, he does happen to not make it. But Boston, on the other hand, they've got the ability to push the ball. They've got a lot of options. Without Walker, I'm sure it's going to be Pierce and Anderson, somebody using the dribble to push it.
Well, the Nets certainly have to be concerned about Paul Pierce's range. He can get a shot off from 30 feet in, and he has done it so often this second half. He's got to feel like he can make it from anywhere. That's assuming Keith Van Horn makes the free throw. Now he's got one to go here.
Now they'll probably call timeout if he makes it, get themselves organized. I think this was strictly a make sure Van Horn thinks a little bit, kind of a timeout.
Nets have to be aware of, if there is a miss, getting to the board and trying to keep it alive. No fouls to give for either team. The Celtics still have two timeouts, one full and one 20. Nets have a 20, and Van Horn goes to the line.
And Kenyon Martin's very quick to the ball on missed shots, if in fact it does miss.
And Van Horn swishes it. No timeout for the Celtics. Here's Pierce on Martin. He'll pull up from anywhere. Here it is. Three-pointer. Pierce, no good.
That's one.
And the Nets have forced overtime on two Van Horn free throws.
No place to go. Why not on a Saturday afternoon? Play a little extra. Van Horn stepping up big time with the free throw after the timeout.
Third extra session of the season for the Nets. They're 1-1, and they're here because of these last couple plays.
That one was essential, and I thought good balance defensively. McCullough looks like he's going to help out. Kenyon Martin all alone up there, but the space dribble gives him the look, and just extraordinary because he can put it on the floor, and it's able to dodge one, and a good challenge too at the end by Kenyon Martin. You just can't leave great shooters alone. Change it, and Pierce figured he had a wonderful look and a chance, and a sigh of relief by Byron Scott there as he gets ready and gets organized. Each team gets an extra timeout. And now you start even. Zip to one for Boston, and as you noted, and that's able to be even.
Celtics were in Washington, had an overtime loss to the Wizards. They will not have Antoine Walker. He is fouled out. Kenyon Martin has 5 for the Nets. Paul Pierce has got 35 points, but I'm sure he would rather have had just 2 more.
He's such a force, though, isn't he? I mean, he puts a lot of pressure on you. And that matchup, well, that's why Martin with the 5, it's essential he stay on the floor.
Now Keith Van Horn, who made 2 of 3 free throws to get it into overtime. Would like to have that free throw over as well, I'm sure.
Now, he had some game winners. Remember his years in Utah? Coming down the stretch in the tournament in big time. And those 2 ensured this.
It's tough to get iced, to go sit down for a minute or so, then go back up there and make it, and he did that. The tip, Celtics have it. Kenny Anderson, who made a huge basket in the final minute, has it. Joe Johnson, they're going to put Martin on Johnson. They're going to put Kittles on Pierce.
Good pick. They look like they're stuck here.
Anderson, some trouble. Petit for a jumper. No good. And the rebound by Van Horn. Nice job of boxing out.
You'll settle for that, right? I mean, little kickback, played it well. Boxed in, Kenny Anderson.
Every possession crucial now in the final 5 minutes. Here's McCullough. He's been quiet offensively and nearly stolen. Cross court to Kittles. Now Martin, they go down to McCullough, back to Kidd. Kidd's jumper, no good. Trying to bank it.
Okay, Todd's got to do some little damage. Make an offensive move once he gets in there. I thought the last duck in he would.
Stolen nearly by Kittles. Now the Celtics reset with 12 on the shot clock.
And Kidd with Pierce. Tough match.
And it's taken away. Miscue by Anderson.
And Anderson fouls. I think Kenny Martin's talking to Todd McCullough at half court. And I think that's all about, we got it into you there twice. The second time, make your move. And here's the giveaway. Kidd, such a feisty competitor with the denial.
Al Van Horn has it. Let's go into this partial weave. It's Kenyon Martin on the rookie, Joe Johnson.
Jump hook.
Jump hook. Nice
Ready.
deal to kill McCullough, and he got fouled.
How about them chatting over at half court? McCullough availed himself there as Martin went to the jump hook, the nice extra look. Oh, the development of Kenyon Martin. Here, McCullough just appears underneath the basket there, so alert as the tee is attracted. Little offline there.
And one of the few times McCullough did not catch the ball cleanly. So he's got the second free throw. Nets 19 of 26, and they missed both.
Man, he's such a good free throw shooter, too, 75%.
We're still tied at 90. Nobody has scored in overtime. Here's Pierce on Kittles. All alone. Shoots a jumper, goes in, out, and in.
Wow. So tough.
Such a soft touch. 11 of 31 for Pierce this afternoon. 37 points. Kenyon Martin wants it. He's got it on the low block on the rookie.
A 3-second violation. They've been getting away with it.
Turning. Kittles. Now Van Horn with a fake. Pull up. No good. Martin got a rebound. Kidd back to Van Horn. Now he's going to drive left-handed. Didn't go.
Pretty good delivery, though.
And the Celtics with a 2-point lead and the ball under 3 minutes remaining.
Now Pierce with Kittles, the danger now. Curry trying to deny him.
Kittles working hard, but Pierce has it. Shooting over Carey, and he's got that one. Drained it cleanly. That's a tough shot.
Great defense. Just such talent.
2:25 left. Now Martin. One more time as McCullough tries to get open. All 5 Celtics are in the paint, and the ball's rejected.
Kenyon looking to get to the free throw line.
On the inbounds, it's Jason Kidd, 7 to shoot. Kidd in some traffic, no good, and the rebound, Paul Pierce. So the Celtics with 2:10 remaining have a 4-point lead. Tony Batiste, Pierce, now Martin back on him.
And a good move by Byron because he was elevating over Curry Kittles.
This time he shoots again long range, and he's got that one. Wow. That's a 3-point field goal. Pierce on his back in front of the Nets bench has given the Celtics a 7-point lead.
A zone beyond belief. Anybody on him, defenseless.
Mike Crispino and Bill Raftery in New Jersey this afternoon. We're in overtime. Nets have missed all 4 of their field goals. The Celtics have made 3, all by this man.
Very similar. Same position, same spot. This time it's Kittles able to rattle it and still knock it down. Same spot. Kittles again. And again, unerring. This one, nothing but nylon. And then they put a bigger guy on him. Kenyon Martin deflects, forces him a little bit deeper. And look at the challenge. And oh my goodness, they're going to have to change the Nets. He has just been outstanding. But now you're thinking of quick hitters, quick scores, play some good defense, don't foul, force a miss. All of a sudden you get yourself back within 2.
So a 7-point deficit with under 2 minutes remaining. Paul Pierce has 42 points. Antoine Walker fouled out with 25.
John Carroll down there just knows what everybody else runs, getting them organized.
It's Kittles. Now Jason Kidd to shoot. Kidd's got that, and it's a 3.
So tough. Gets him right back there. Now you just got to guard.
4-point advantage. Richard Jefferson's going to check in for the Nets. when he gets a chance.
Got to get help on that side.
Pierce double teamed on Martin, beats him, throws up a wild shot, and he's going to go to the line.
That's all that was about, that shot. You know, track some bodies, get in traffic. That's the nice thing, though. The double here caused some difficulties, and he's still able to turn. The only thing they did poorly there, as McCullough came in, was didn't turn it back. If Kenny Martin had taken away the baseline, this may not have occurred.
Pierce with a hard drive to the basket, earns a couple of free throws. 12 of 13 there. And Jefferson's going to replace Todd McCullough.
They can play a little bit smaller, quicker, and really not the devastating big guy in the opposing team.
Minute 28 left. And Paul Pierce has got 44 points, tying a career high. Now kid to Van Horn. That's long range, way off target, and Williams has it with 1:15 left. Nets running out of time, down by 6.
I don't know if you really needed the 3 that trip. You know, get right back. You got to get on even numbers at 99-9.
Kenyon Martin and the rest of the Nets listening intently to Byron Scott and the coaching staff. They're down by 6, 46.5 remaining in overtime. They have not been able to find a solution to Paul Pierce, who, as you mentioned in the timeout, is acting like Michael Jordan right now.
I mean, it's almost that kind of an evening or afternoon for him. The big approach now is what you try. I think if you go for the 2 and you have to settle for the 3, that's okay. Then give the foul right away and extend the game as best you can. But if you start settling for 3s, you know, all of a sudden you get yourself blown out of the game. But in overtime, it's been the Pierce AC 11 and the Nets 5. It's just extraordinary game and just mind-boggling. And yet the Nets come up with the wrinkle twice now, but put them to the free throw line when they doubled them.
Brandon Armstrong has checked in for the Nets. Here's Kidd. That's a long-range 3. No, up and high it goes. It's loose. Kidd has it. Now he puts it over to Kittles for 3. And that one's good. So 36.6, a 3-point game.
They are tough. I mean, the mentality, they just won't pack it.
On the inbounds, and they got to call a timeout. The Celtics could not get it in.
That's pretty good preparation defensively, too. Make the goal, force the timeout, and the Nets ready to defend.
Kittles has 17, and it's not over yet. If they can get a stop, they've still got a chance.
Well, it's all about attitude. Now, here's the screen down. This one doesn't go, but the effort on the glass and the eventual tip back right there, an alert. Kittles tips it back, gets his feet set, knocks it down, and then right away they're ready defensively. Deny the inbounds pass, play the inbounds passer, take away the vision. This is just solid preparation. Nobody's free. It's almost like football where they're covered. The coverage was exceptional. And how about Curry? Alert and ready to knock it down. The tip back, and yet still ready to shoot the basketball.
Paul Pierce, an amazing afternoon, but he's not out of the woods yet, and neither are the Celtics. They've got a 3-point lead, 36.6 remaining. Now, undoubtedly, he's going to try to go to the basket and get to the free throw line where he's been near perfect. And you got to believe the Celtics will go to Pierce.
Well, you got to double him, though. That's what the Nets have been doing. It's how they double him, though. Don't let him turn the corner, and then they can do some damage. But they've been permitting him on the sideline and on the baseline to turn it. And then you want to deny it if you're the guy guarding him.
Well, Wednesday night, the Phoenix Suns will be in along with Stephon Marbury. That'll be a 7:30 Nets game night start, and then we'll tip it at 8. Nets and the Suns Wednesday night here on Fox Sports Net. We'd have to go a ways to top this, though. This afternoon, career performance for Paul Pierce. Celtics without Antoine Walker the last several minutes, still in position to win the game.
And Martin on him. Let's see if they double Pierce. Key, I think, is Williams and Anderson as alternates. Williams in the low box area. He's got Kittles, which is a size difference. And, of course, Kenny Anderson, the ability to turn the corner.
Williams, they got Pierce open on it. He goes to the basket. Shot blocked, but the rebound, Tony Batiste.
And they
tied up by Martin.
Great effort. Great attention.
Tony Petit had a rebound, didn't know where to go with it.
And of course, he's probably been coached, don't put it on the floor, don't lower it. Got to be right. Should be a tip back to Van Horn.
30.4 left. 3-point game. Petit and Kenyon Martin will jump.
Now they can't keep moving. You got it, Kenny Anderson. Okay, now they got him locked. Back tip to the basket.
Martin tips long to Kidd.
Timeout.
Nets have it. They've got a timeout. With 28.2, it's a 20-second timeout. And they're down by 3.
Now, plenty of time still to get a deuce and score, but on the kid's back, you might get the 3. But right here, here's the angle, and watch the defense collect at the rim. Just terrific attention by Keith Van Horn, who comes over and causes that difficulty. And you're right, but he's just afraid to make a pass. The denial outside by Kidd, and the fierce oh, how fierce the way Martin gets after the basketball. But here I thought he would go back. He goes forward, and just look at the strength of Kidd. He's actually falling backwards, and right away the timeout. Now the Nets have been able to get themselves in position in the lane and then find people outside. We'll see if they go first with a touch inside and the quick deuce, or then reverse it outside.
So the Nets now have no timeouts remaining. The Celtics have a couple, so they'll need to get it inbounds. 3-point lead for Boston. 28.2, 23 to shoot.
And a lot of Lucius Randle can shoot threes.
Out of Van Horn. Back to Lucius for the jump. Goes in and out. Eric Williams has it. And the Nets have to foul. That one was down in the cylinder and back out.
The most dangerous guy is the inbounder. And Chris Lucius just in the game, got the look he wanted, shaking his head, but gave it a chance. He steps right in. Look at the defense. Nobody reacts. Gets the puppy set, and everybody in the house is praying that one in. But a good look and well prepared. Good use of the timeout by Byron.
So Eric Williams goes to the line. He's gone 15 of 22 this year in limited action. He's only playing in his 6th game of the season. But he gets the roll, so it's a 4-point advantage.
A local kid enjoys that, savoring it as Shabazz here. Comes later on to Providence. This is key because it's a 2-trip game for the Nets if he misses this one. They can go for the 2, give the foul, try and extend it.
Second one's up and good. No timeouts for the Nets. Here's Kidd. Pull-up shot. No good. Loose ball. Nets have it. Kittles is waiting for it. Kidd shoots it. It's loose again, and finally the Celtics have it. And they are 10.5 away from beating the Nets in New Jersey.
Okay, one of the entertaining afternoons, though, the way these two teams went after one another. Nets not as efficient offensively in the second half, really got bogged down a little bit, and a little bit of dejection. But that they come with this effort, you know as well as I do that they're going to get their share of wins. And Boston probably feels like they stole one down there, but I think Mr. Pierce should get the game ball. What do you think?
I would say. Nets led by 14 at halftime, seemingly in control, and then Paul Pierce went to work.
Just a magnificent effort.
47 for Pierce. 45 in the second half.
When it counted, he was there. And the matchup dilemma he presented.
And Jason Kidd and the Nets, who were 6-1 at home, about to go down for the second time as the Celtics come up with a rebound and leave New Jersey a jubilant bunch. They've beaten the Nets 8 of the last 9 times and have evened the season series at 1 apiece. Lester Connor ended up with Dick Harder and John Carroll coaching. Jim O'Brien ejected. They gave it to Paul Pierce, and Paul Pierce made it happen. A career high this afternoon for the Celtics. Our producer, Frank DeGrace, our director, Dave Hagan. James Higgins on the graphics, replays by Bob Lawani. For Bill Raftery, I'm Mike Crispino. The Knicks tonight on Cannon Business Solutions Game Night have a game. The Red Wings Devils here tonight in New Jersey. The final, Celtics 105, Nets 98.